Welcome everybody to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today, and this week sees the release of Rob Zombie's 3 from Hell hitting store shelves, along with the action comedy Stuber, the killer crocodile horror movie Crawl. You've also got Netflix's The Haunting of Hill House being released this week as well, and Scream Factory is releasing the Omen collection, plus much more. So let's go see the deals, exclusives, and we're at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got. All right, everybody, we are in at Walmart here, and the first thing I'm seeing is they have the DC animated movie Teen Titans Go vs. Teen Titans, the DVD for $12.96, the Blu-ray DVD and digital for $19.96, and I didn't get a chance to watch this one, and to be honest with you, I do know about Teen Titans, but I don't really know much about Teen Titans Go. I'm a little bit more not sure about that. I know it's like an animated show or something, more for kids, like it's the younger versions of these heroes, or it's their sons or something like that, sons or daughters, something to that degree. I'm not known entirely about it, so you guys are definitely going to have to let me know. But it's kind of a cool sort of versus animated movie, kind of interesting. Cyborg members are kidnapped themselves against the Teen Titans. That's interesting. It probably is a very cool sort of animated movie, probably for kids, probably for adults who love sort of the Teen Titans and Teen Titans Go. Really interesting. Like I said, I don't really know much about the Teen Titans Go themselves. I know more about Teen Titans, but not too much either. A lot of these things are more, at least to me, more new school. I know more older school, kind of like, comic book style superhero teams. This one, not so much. I know a little bit about Teen Titans, but again, not so much about Teen Titans Go. But seems like a very interesting movie, especially if you're a fan of both of the franchises. Definitely let me know what you think of it. It's probably a really cool movie. The designs alone on the cover look really cool, so I imagine the movie is too. Definitely let me know what you guys think of Teen Titans Go versus Teen Titans. Looks kind of fun, actually. Then over here I'm seeing they have Stuber, the DVD for $14.96, the Blu-ray for $19.96. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and I wanted to watch it in the theater, but unfortunately I didn't get a chance to, so I just waited for the out and about. I liked the trailers. The trailers looked funny. I was interested in it, and then watching the movie, it's just alright. I would say it's alright. It's a nice sort of like unlikely duo coming together to have to fight crime type of movie. It's been done to death before. I like Dave Bautista a lot. I like his sort of, back and forth relationship, and, sort of back and forth sort of comedy and drama stuff with Kumail Nanjiani. Hope I didn't butcher that name. I like sort of the chemistry that they have together. The action is alright. The comedy has its moments. It's pretty average, though. Honestly, it's a pretty average movie. It's nothing extraordinary or spectacular. It's just alright. If you like Batista, maybe give it a chance, but honestly, guys, I'm going to say that it could be a skip, and I don't think you're really missing much. It's still a decent and okay enough movie to watch, but it didn't blow me away, and I've seen much better movies in this type of genre that I could recommend to you. This one is just alright. It's good for a rainy day if you don't got anything else to watch. This is much praise as I can honestly give it, guys. But again, if you're a fan of Dave Bautista, I would honestly give it a chance for sure. At least just to say, hey, you watched it. But it's not one of the funniest unlikely duos of all time. That's for damn sure. It's decent, but I can't say much more than that, guys. I mean, let me know what you think of Stuber, though. Then over here, I'm seeing they have Born to Race, the DVD for $9.96. I think this came out last week, but I don't believe they had it here at the time, so we're seeing it now. That cover is kind of like, I'm looking badass, and there's a hot chick behind me, and, I got the flag behind me, and I'm American, kind of, okay, well, what is this about? Danny is a high school senior who has it. Oh, okay. He's sort of, a big plan for the future, sort of this bad boy, and then he sort of gets taken down a peg or two, and he has to, have to pick himself back up again and win the race, and try to get with the hot chick. I've seen these movies time and time again, man. This is nothing new. This doesn't look like it's reinventing the wheel. I've seen a shitload of movies like this. I don't know if this is going to be good. It looks pretty generic to me, to be honest with you. And there's so many racing movies out there now that you really have to stand out in order to really make an impression. I don't know if Born to Race is really that movie, guys. I mean, definitely let me know what you think of Born to Race. It looks very generic to me. Then over here, I am seeing they have the DVD of Jack Hunter and the Quest for Akhenaten's Tomb, the DVD for $9.96 there, and they also have over here, they have the Blu-ray for $12.96, Blu-ray DVD combo pack. I feel like we've seen other Jack Hunter movies on the Out and About. I feel like we have. I don't remember them because they look really forgettable, to be honest with you. But another in the Jack Hunter series, I don't know if anyone was really asking for it, but here we go. Interesting. I think I said before, these are kind of like rip-off Indiana Jones ones, man. I mean, it feels like Indiana Jones would be like shaking his head in disgust. He'd be like, "Ugh, you guys, man, you try to be like me, but you will never succeed." I do like these type of adventure movies, these Indiana Jones style movies, but it feels like they're just really like B-grade movies compared to something really great like Indiana Jones, man. I don't know. I've never watched any of the Jack Hunter stuff, so I don't really even know. I mean, is it worth it? Is it at least entertaining? I mean, definitely let me know, guys, on that one. I mean, they also over here have that Blu-ray DVD combo pack of El Dorado City of Gold for $12.96, the DVD for $9.96 here, and I feel like we've seen this one in the past before. Like, not this movie, but something similar. Shane West, Luke Goss, Eldon Henson. Man, I haven't seen Eldon Henson in something in a long while. I love some of these actors, but this kind of looks really... Look at that, that huge fucking alligator crocodile motherfucker. Look at that coming out of there, man. Jesus, yeah, I'd fucking run too. Holy shit. Jack Wilder. Yeah, I think we've seen one with him before. Jack Wilder. Jack Hunter. They still can't compare to Indiana. They send a mercenary, Colonel Sam Grissom, the two, but then again, man, these ones look okay. They don't spark like the greatest like enthusiasm to me. Like I said, I love things like Indiana Jones. The National Treasure movies really kind of spark that same kind of interest. I like these type of movies, but I don't know whether things like El Dorado or Jack Hunter really sort of inspire the same kind of enthusiasm. Definitely let me know what you think. Are these just basic B-grade movies, or are they something really fun and interesting to check out? Definitely let me know, guys. Then over here I'm seeing they have the DVD of Night Hunter for $12.96. Another movie with my man Ben Kingsley, and we also got a few other people in here. We got Henry Cavill, Alexandra Daddario, Stanley Tucci. Nice cast, man. Very nice cast in this thing. An excellent edge of your seat thriller. Another sort of thriller, man. I know that Ben Kingsley does a lot of these type of style thrillers, man. Stars in this action-packed thrill ride that will shock you at every turn. A serial killer targeting women. Down for murder. Oh, that looks really cool, man. That sounds really cool. a great cast in here as well, man. I really love a lot of this cast. That looks really interesting to me. Usually some of the sort of political thrillers that Ben Kingsley does, I'm not always interested in, to be honest with you, but this one looks really interesting to me, honestly. I think the cast really has me pumped. I like the synopsis. Huh. I would definitely give this one a chance, guys. And I even like the cover art. The cover art looks good. It's not too generic. It's got the broken glass with the characters. I kind of like that. If you guys know much about Night Hunter, definitely let me know. Huh. Looks really interesting. And over here, guys, I'm seeing they have the DVD of Crawl for $17.96, the Blu-ray DVD and digital for $22.96. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime. I was really kind of interested to watch it in the theater, but this is another one that sort of passed me by, unfortunately. And, you know, it's interesting because I think some of my friends saw the trailer and they're like, this looks really generic. It looks really generic, really sort of, you know, killer crocodiles. We've seen this type of stuff before. What kind of stuff are they bringing to it? I really enjoyed the movie, to be honest with you. It's not the greatest sort of killer alligator or killer crocodile movie you've ever seen in your life, but I liked it. I liked sort of, you know, this idea of this storm and this woman going back to try to find her father and just getting caught up in the craziness of the storm and trying to survive these huge, gigantic killer alligator crocodile motherfuckers, and just, you know, trying to be creative and finding ways out and getting blocked, and, you know, they're getting attacked and then they have to find other ways around, and it's just sort of this roller coaster of sort of, you know, horror and dealing with these gigantic creatures. And I liked it a lot. I thought the acting was good. I love the CGI effects with the alligators and the crocodiles. You know, the blood and gore is good. There's not a ton of it. I think, you know, some of it you see some chomping, and you see, you know, some of the pulling of the parts and blood. You don't see everything. They don't go completely, you know, fully into just mangling of every single body part and really getting up close, but they show enough where you're definitely satisfied with it. I thought it was a decent movie. I was overly satisfied with it. It's not the greatest sort of horror film you're ever going to watch, and it certainly, you know, has some sort of issues to it, but, you know, to be honest with you though, what movie doesn't have their issues? I thought it was a pretty fun ride overall. And if you really like sort of killer animals, sort of going after people, then this is probably still something that you definitely would be interested in watching, guys. Just my honest opinion. Definitely give Crawl a chance, though. Then over here, I'm seeing they have the DVD of 3 from Hell for $14.96. And they also have this Blu-ray, DVD, digital, and T-shirt combo for $17.96, which has a limited edition exclusive shirt that says Disco Sucks. Very interesting. I don't know whether this is a Walmart exclusive or we're gonna see it everywhere. I'm actually not really sure, guys. It's actually really cool, honestly. It really is. And I know that this art right here actually was one of the limited edition posters when you actually went to the Fathom event the screening for 3 from Hell. I know they had that as well. So, interesting. And sort of this nice little box. Not bad at all. Cool, interesting, exclusive. Like I said, I don't know whether it's a Walmart exclusive or we'll see it other places, but we'll definitely look for sure, guys. That's interesting. And Bob, John, and myself, the 3 of us, ended up reviewing 3 from Hell. We did a spoiler review. You can catch it on the movie review playlist. I'll also put a link down below in the description if you want to hear our full and complete thoughts on the movie. And, you know, we were really terrified of seeing this movie. We honestly were, guys, because we love House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects so much. We think they're really great horror movies, very different style horror movies. One's more of a psychedelic sort of style, in the same vein as Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and then Devil's Rejects is more of a gritty 70s style revenge type of movie. Very different films, but I really enjoyed both of them quite a bit. I thought they were really unique ones and definitely my favorites of Rob Zombie's. And after Devil's Rejects ended, I was like, there's really no point in making any more of these movies. They pretty much, spoiler alert, they pretty much like gunned them down to death. There's really no more story there. And then people sort of over the years were like, are we going to see another one? Are we going to see a prequel of Baby and Otis and Spaulding? Are we going to see more of this world? And eventually he just ended up doing another one. And we were just hesitant because we were like, I just don't know whether it's going to live up to those other two movies, whether it's going to be a really great follow-up to Devil's Rejects, or whether it's going to really just be this really terrible movie that had no reason to be made. And honestly, we were pleasantly surprised, guys. We honestly were. We really dug this movie quite a bit, man. We love seeing Bill Moseley again as Otis, and Sherry Moon Zombie as Baby again. Seeing that small, brief glimpse of Captain Spaulding was really nice. Richard Brake is a really great addition to the crew. We liked sort of the humor of it. We liked the violence. We thought it was a really good, solid addition to this series of movies. Is it essential viewing? Not really. I think you could end with The Devil's Rejects and still be very satisfied without ever having watched this movie. But I like that it's a nice, interesting addition with this Firefly family, and you get to see more of Baby and Otis, which I love these characters. They're despicable human beings, they're terrible people, but for some reason they're really fascinating, and I really have a fun time watching them on screen. So for me, I really dug this movie quite a bit. I really liked it, and I thought that if you're a fan of Rob Zombie, definitely give it a chance. If you're a fan of House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects, definitely give it a chance as well. I know some people were disappointed by this movie. A lot of people, I think, went in with high expectations. We went in with slightly lower expectations, and we were pleasantly surprised. But honestly, guys, I was afraid this was going to be an absolute dumpster fire, and it's anything but. I was really happy with this one, and for me, this is one where, it's definitely going to be part of the now trilogy of the Rejects films. So consider me a happy man, and I was definitely happy with this one for sure. I thought Rob Zombie hit it out of the park. That's just my opinion, but definitely let me know what you guys think of Three from Hell. Very interested to find out what you guys think. And that does it for this section, guys. Not bad amount that we got so far. Let's see what else they got. Alright guys, we're over in this section, and what I'm seeing over here is they have the DVD of the extended director's cut of The Haunting of Hill House for $26.96, and I got a chance to watch this on Netflix, and I gotta tell you, man, I really love the hell out of this show, man. This season of this Netflix show was so awesome, man. It was so, like, chilling and terrifying and scary and tense, and just a really wonderful sort of adaptation of a haunted house type of movie or show. And I know it's based off of a book, and I've never honestly read the book, so I can't even tell you really much about the actual book itself or anything, but I have to tell you guys that it's basically about like this family that grew up in this house, and it was haunted, and after sort of the suicide of one of their siblings, they all have to come back together and sort of deal with it, and deal with the sort of ghosts of their past and stuff that could be still in the house that they have to deal with. And this is such an amazing show. I was starting to watch it with my girlfriend, and we got through maybe 2 episodes, and she was like, I can't do this, man. It's too scary for me. Truth be told, she's not really into horror movies or scary stuff, but she tried, and it just was too much for her. But I was watching this, and I loved it, man. I really did. This thing is really atmospheric, and just, oh man, it's just very creepy and just really well done, man. I honestly had a really great time watching this, and it sometimes scared the hell out of me. I love this so much, man. Honestly, definitely, if you guys have not watched The Haunting of Hill House, if you have Netflix, definitely do it. it is well worth it, man. If you like these type of like haunted house sort of shows and movies, this is definitely worth getting into, man. Honestly, really well worth it. Please do it, guys. So good, man. Really fantastic, man. Awesome show. Other than that, that does it over at this section. Let's see what else they got. Alright, guys, and the next thing I'm seeing over here is they have this display over here for most iconic moments in film history. They have DVDs and Blu-rays here, $7.50 and then $5, and it comes with digital movie code included. And these are sort of these slips that have sort of a quote next to them on the bottom there for some very iconic movies. We've seen some of these ones in the past before, but they have a whole sort of display of them now, guys. I mean, they have Inception, which I believe we've seen before. You mustn't be afraid to dream a little bigger, darling. Very interesting. They have that one. They have The Shining one. Here's Johnny, very iconic as well. They have Seven. What's in the box? I know we've definitely seen this one before as well. I know we've seen this one. They have Batman as well, the one with Nicholson and Keaton. Where does he get those wonderful toys? There's a few quotes you could have done for this one for sure. That's a good quote, but there's a few others that were definitely more iconic. They also have Full Metal Jacket. This is my rifle. Again, there's a few quotes that you could have done for this one as well. I don't know if This Is My Rifle is as iconic, but there's a few that they could have done. They have Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. I'm gonna cut your heart out with a spoon. That's a cool quote. I like that quote, man. Nice cover, actually, for this. And a really great Robin Hood movie as well. Probably one of the best Robin Hood movies, in my honest opinion, man. Really cool. At that one, they've got the DVD of The Shining. I also have The Exorcist Extended Director's Cut with the quote, "An excellent day for an exorcism." Now, come on. There is way better quotes that you could have put on this cover. You guys know what I'm talking about. There is way better ones that they could have done. I don't think that's as memorable as they could have went, trust me. But it's Walmart. I don't think they want to get in trouble, guys. But they could have done a better quote. Just saying. Just throwing it out there, man. They've also got over here, they've got Beetlejuice. Not bad cover with "It's Showtime." Not bad. That's a good quote. There's a few quotes that you could have done for Beetlejuice. But that's not bad, though. Not bad at all. This is number 37, so I'm assuming there's this whole collection of like these quotable slipcovers that they have. Man, they've got Gremlins also, which we've seen before. Not bad one. Not bad at all. They've got that. They've got Storks, which, by the way, I don't really consider Storks like an iconic movie. Like all these other ones I consider pretty much iconic films, but Storks is not one I would consider iconic. That's just my thing, guys. I don't really think it's very iconic. I mean, cool cover, but I don't really think it's that iconic of a movie. Kind of baffles me why that's there. You've got Goonies. Hey, you guys. Great quote. There's a couple more quotes that you could have done, but that's pretty iconic, I would say. That's not a bad cover. They got that one. They've got The Wizard of Oz here. They've got, let's see, There's No Place Like Home. That's pretty iconic. Yeah, I would say that's one. Or you know, We're Not in Kansas Anymore, or something like that. You could have done a couple quotes, but that's pretty iconic, I would say. That's pretty iconic. Gremlins there, Wizard of Oz. Mad Max Fury Road. Oh, what a day. What a lovely day. This is an awesome movie. And I heard rumors that they're going to make another Mad Max movie soon or something, or they're going to start to like film it maybe next year or something, which I would, dude, if it's the same like Mad Max Fury Road, count me in, man. That's awesome. They've also got Gone with the Wind. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Very nice. That's pretty much the iconic quote right there. That's pretty much the iconic quote, man. Definitely. Great movie. great movie. I've watched it only a couple times, but I really love it. It's not for everybody, but it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's essential viewing if you're a movie lover, for sure. They've also got, Singing in the Rain. Nice. Come rain, come shine, the show must go on. There's a couple of quotes that they could have done here as well, but that's actually not a bad cover, man. And Singing in the Rain is one of my favorite musicals of all time. I love this. This is like iconic, favorite one. I love a lot of really ones, but this one is really iconic. I love that one quite a bit. They also have Casablanca as well. Here's looking at you, kid. Great. I love that. Yeah, that's pretty much the iconic one right there. This is another classic. This is another, like, must-watch for movie lovers. The same kind of with Gone with the Wind. It's a must-one for sure, guys. It's really great. Definitely. They also have The Bodyguard. That's interesting. I'm here to keep you alive, not help you shop. That's great. I love The Bodyguard. It's been so long since I've seen it, but I used to really love The Bodyguard, man. It's also a favorite movie of my mother. She loved that one quite a bit. Great movie. That's cool one. You also have the DVD of Ready Player One. First to the key, first to the egg. It's kind of interesting that they'd have Ready Player One here, because I don't know if I would consider it iconic right now. I mean, I think it was a little bit more iconic than something like Storks is, but I don't know if I would consider it like amongst the rest of these sort of movies. You know what I mean? Maybe in time, but not at the moment, though. Still a really good movie. Definitely one of the better Steven Spielberg films to come out in a long while, man. And honestly, they all come with sort of the regular sort of art, if I can sort of open it up. Yeah, it comes with sort of the regular art for all this stuff, guys. It comes with all of this stuff, all of the regular art here as well. Yeah, sort of all of the former like DVD art that you've seen before. It all comes with all of this stuff. So there's nothing really new here. It's just really the standard sort of DVDs and Blu-rays, just with sort of the new slipcover stuff attached. But actually, it's not bad though. Some of them are really good, and I know there's a lot of you out there that really love sort of these collector slipcovers. So if you're a collector of a lot of this stuff, then it's definitely worth it, guys, for sure. And $7.50 for Blu-ray and $5 for DVD, you can't really beat it, especially if you don't have any of these titles yet. Not bad display, and it's kind of cool them doing some new and interesting slipcovers here. Not bad at all. Right, well, let's see what else they got. And then over here, guys, I just wanted to show you real quick. I see that they have a 2-movie collection for Hobbs and Shaw and The Fate of the Furious. Now, Hobbs and Shaw is the digital movie, and Fate of the Furious is the Blu-ray disc, DVD, and digital, and that's for $29.96. Now, I know Hobbs and Shaw is actually right around the corner, but they started to do the sort of these sort of 2 movie collections, and they have this just in case you guys are interested in the digital instead of the actual like physical disc. But you know what I think. I more go for the physical disc than anything else. But what's also really interesting here is they have the digital movie limited edition mini steelbook right here for $19.96. Now this has the movie on Vudu, and it's a mini steelbook of Hobbs and Shaw. Like, it has The Rock and Statham on it in a mini steelbook form, which I have never seen this before in my life. I don't think I've ever seen like any sort of mini steelbook for a digital movie before. I don't know if this is brand new, if they've done it before in the past. This is the first time I've ever been seeing anything like this, guys. It's kind of actually really cool, and probably a cool little limited edition collector's item probably in the future, but I think they're doing more of these type of style gimmicks in order to get people to actually get on board with digital more, and sort of doing these sort of limited edition collector's exclusives, and sort of doing these sort of, you know, limited sort of runs of this stuff in order to get these people more involved in it. It looks cool and looks really interesting, but Yeah, I'm again more of the physical guy, but it's really interesting to see sort of these companies really starting to invest in doing these sort of niche type of releases in order to get people more on board for the actual digital release over the physical. I mean, definitely let me know what you guys think of this. Very interesting, and very soon Hobbs and Shaw will definitely be out, so we'll definitely talk about it then, guys. But that's really interesting. Very fascinating. Huh. Other than that, that does it, guys. All right. Well, let's head out. You know, it's really interesting with physical media this week, guys, because there's not this huge mega release that came out that we're going to get a lot of huge major exclusives for. It's more smaller new releases, some indie titles. So I'm always curious how stores sort of deal with smaller weeks like this, what kind of physical media we'll see. And honestly, I think Walmart did a pretty good job this week. I mean, like we said, we have all the new releases. We have some of those cool indie titles that we haven't seen yet. Plus, we have those interesting, sort of unique, sort of slip covers that they had as well. Plus a couple other things. So even on a slow week, there's still a lot of stuff to see, guys. So I thought that Walmart did a pretty good job this week overall. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's head to the second location and see what else we'll find this week. All right, everybody, we are at our second location, Target. Now, before I actually go in, I want to talk about real quick with Walmart. There was a lot of the shelves that were more empty than normal. They're actually doing a reset of the entire department, and the third-party vendor ended up telling me that there were certain titles that came out this week that they couldn't find, or they couldn't find homes for. So we may see some of that stuff next week, guys. But as far as Target is concerned, it's kind of a gamble because I don't know what they're actually going to have this week, guys, to be honest with you. Because Target caters more family friendly, and because it's a slow release week, and that's not to say that there isn't great titles this week, there honestly is, but you know, they cater more to families. A lot of horror titles and a lot of interesting, darker stuff is coming out this week. So I think we'll see some new releases. I just don't know exactly what we're going to see, guys. And maybe we might actually see some of the stuff that we didn't see over at Walmart. So you never quite know what you're going to get. I always say Target's a gamble. Will the gamble pay off this week? Well, let's go into Target and find out. All right, everybody, we are in a Target over here, and the first thing I'm seeing is they have the Blu-ray digital of Stuber for $19.99, the DVD only for $14.99. And, you know, it's really interesting with Dave Bautista because, you know, it's sort of wrestlers turned actors. And the first one you easily think about is The Rock because he's so popular, but Dave Bautista, man, he's one of those people that's slowly been making a big name for himself. I remember seeing him in that movie Riddick. He had a small role in that. Spectre. You know, of course, everyone's got to recognize him as Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy, but even things like Blade Runner 2049, where he did a really small role in. And he continues to do stuff like straight to DVD and Blu-ray, things like Escape Plan 2 and 3. He loves to work. He's just a really great sort of working man's actor, I would say. He just takes on a lot of different projects. I think he's gotten better as an actor over the years. I think when you first saw him, he was like this big, like gruff guy that really couldn't act his way out of a paper bag. And I think over time he's actually gotten better. I think if you look at his small role in Blade Runner 2049, I think he's great in it. I think he's great as Drax. I think he's gotten better. I wouldn't say Dave Bautista's leading man quality, though. I know some people want to go ahead and say he's sort of like the leading man type of guy. I think he's good in movies. I don't know if he can actually carry a movie, though. And that's my thing about it. I just don't know if he's like carrying a movie quality type of guy. At least not yet. He's not like The Rock. And, you know, I don't know. He's not even something like John Cena. Because John Cena, I think, has a really great personality where I could see him being a leading man of a movie star. I just don't know if I see Dave Bautista in that role. At least not quite yet. I mean, he's headlining movies. I mean, he's headlining things like Stuber. But does that get you into the movie theater, seeing Dave Bautista's name, is what I'm saying. Because when you look at The Rock, like, that gets you into the theater. Even John Cena, yeah, he's still early in his career, but that kind of gets you there because you like John Cena. I don't know about where Dave Bautista kind of ranks in that. I mean, definitely let me know what you guys think on Dave Bautista. Do you think he's gotten better as an actor? Do you think he's leading man quality? Or do you think that uh, it's all hype? Definitely let me know. I think he's better than some people give him credit for, but he's still got a long way to go, though. Yeah, he really does. But I've liked a lot of projects that he's done, and I hope he'll continue to like get better. Yeah, and you know what? Another movie that I was thinking of that was really great that he was in was Hotel Artemis, which he was really great in, which he doesn't get a lot of recognition for too. So there's been quite a few movies he's been good in, but again, he's more of side bill than anything else. Then over here I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray DVD and digital of Crawl for $22.99 and the DVD for $17.99. Now, let's talk real quick about Alexandra Aja. Now, he directed this movie, and he's done a lot of really interesting stuff. He directed High Tension, which is really good. He directed the Hills Have Eyes remake. He directed Piranha 3D, which I actually really like Piranha 3D, man. It's really sort of just over-the-top ridiculousness, but goddamn do I love it. He also directed the movie Horns with Daniel Radcliffe, which if you guys have not checked out Horns, definitely do it. It's a really sort of great, creepy story. It's very fantasy but horror-based, really well done. He's a really great sort of horror director, and it's kind of funny because he's kind of underrated, I think. I think when you think of horror directors, I don't think Alexandra Aja's name exactly comes to mind, guys. But he's done a lot of really interesting and unique work. And I kind of like that he doesn't do the same thing over and over again. Like, he'll do something like High Tension, but then he'll do something really over the top and ridiculous like Piranha 3D. You know, he doesn't mind going into the remake territory with Hills Have Eyes, which, by the way, that's actually one of the better horror remakes. It really honestly is. I like that he does different things within the horror genre. And I thought him doing Crawl was really interesting. And I liked sort of his take on sort of the killer crocodile, killer alligator type of genre. And I thought he actually pulled it off quite well. You know, his movies are not the best horror films of all time. And I don't think they're on many people's top 10 list, to be honest with you. But I think that he makes really, really above average horror films. And I think certain directors that do that don't get the type of notice that they should. I mean, let me know if there's other average horror directors out there that make really good work but aren't really recognized. I think Alexandra Aja is one of those people, but definitely let me know, guys. Then over here I'm seeing they have the DVD of The Art of Self-Defense for $16.99, and this is one that we definitely didn't see over at Walmart, and I got a chance to watch this one on Amazon Prime, and I gotta tell you guys, this movie's really interesting. It's basically about this guy who, you know, gets the shit kicked out of him, and he's so afraid, and he's a very meek guy, and one day he says, you know, I'm just going to start karate and maybe try to defend myself. And he goes ahead and does it, and he just gets, you know, just pulled into this sort of dark world of, like, karate and trying to defend himself, and how, you know, trying to be masculine in society. And it has a lot of things to say about, you know, being a man and trying to sort of protect yourself in this world. It's really interesting because this movie is supposed to be a comedy, and this is anything but a comedy. This is really a dark and twisted movie, guys. This really is. If anybody thinks this thing is a comedy, then I don't understand why, because this thing was really just went down such a dark and twisted path, man. It really honestly did. I mean, all the actors do a really great job here, but this thing, it really delves into just the masculinity of violence and people taking advantage of one another. And it even has like elements of Fight Club mixed in. Like these people like beating the crap out of each other and codes of honor. And it's a, you know what I would say about it is it's almost like a really twisted tale of the Karate Kid almost. It takes the Karate Kid thing and just twists it and manipulates it, man. It's a really just dark movie, man. Definitely go in remembering that. It's not a fun, lighthearted comedy with Jesse Eisenberg. This is a dark movie that sort of really twists the knife a lot, man. I was not prepared for the where it was going because I thought I was gonna watch a comedy, but this turned into so much more than that, man. I mean, I think the movie's great, but I think it's gotten marketed a little bit unfairly because people are going into this thinking that it's a really wacky comedy, but it is so not, guys. It's a good movie, worth definitely watching, especially if you like these sort of dark, comedic, twisted tales, but yeah, definitely go in knowing that it's not the lighthearted comedy that some people have maybe marketed it out to be, but really well worth it though, and really well worth it just for Jesse Eisenberg, who does a pretty good job here. Very twisted but interesting tale for sure. Then the next thing I'm seeing over here is the Blu-ray digital of Night Hunter for $14.99. You know, interesting because I've started liking more stuff with Henry Cavill. You know, when Henry Cavill really came on the scene with Superman, I wasn't really big on the dude. Well, mind you, I'm a huge Superman fan, so anybody new coming in, I was going to have some sort of backlash to anyways. But I thought he's gotten better with each movie playing Superman. On top of that, his role in Mission Impossible, that newer one, was really awesome, man. He played a really great sort of counterpart to Tom Cruise, man, and he was really awesome in that. And now I'm sort of like wanting more of Henry Cavill, and I really like a lot of the stuff that he's done, dude. And seeing him in sort of this edge of your seat type of thriller with the likes of Ben Kingsley and Alexandra Daddario and Stanley Tucci, it's kind of interesting because I wonder why these movies actually come to just Blu-ray and DVD. Because with such a cast like this, you would think it would come to the theaters, but it's weird how maybe some studios don't exactly want to gamble on a theatrical release and some people just want to go straight to DVD. It's very weird, man. But it looks really cool. And with an excellent cast like this, and especially with somebody like Henry Cavill, who's really, I think, gotten better with each movie. And he's definitely become somebody I'm definitely interested in checking stuff out. This one looks good, man. Definitely let me know what you think of Night Hunter. Then over here, the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital of 3 from Hell for $19.99. The DVD for $14.99. And I actually now guess that basically that with the ad exclusive shirt is actually a Walmart exclusive because they certainly don't have it here over at Target. But I wanted to talk about Rob Zombie for a second. Really interesting with Rob Zombie because, you know, I really fell in love with Rob Zombie through his music, and I really liked Rob Zombie quite a bit, and I thought he was a very interesting director when he came on doing House of a Thousand Corpses, and I remember just loving House of a Thousand Corpses and loving sort of his psychedelic style that he brought from his music videos and everything, and I really just thought that was really creative. And I didn't know really where he was actually going to go next as a director. I really didn't know at all. And then when he did Devil's Rejects, I was blown the fuck away, dude. I thought it was fucking brilliant, dude. I thought it was masterful of a horror film. And actually, when Bob and I saw it back in the theater in 2005, which we were there, we were blown away then. We loved that movie. And it's become sort of a modern day horror classic. And then I was really like, dude, he's off and running. He's got 2 great movies, and what is he going to do next? And then he does Halloween. He does the Halloween remake, and I really was not a fan of that one, guys. I mean, I didn't really need a Halloween remake anyways. I thought it was interesting with Rob Zombie doing it, but I didn't think he brought really anything interesting to the table other than maybe this sort of idea of, you know, Michael Myers coming from this trailer park trash sort of home and being more ultra violent with Michael Myers than normal. But honestly, outside of that, I just really wasn't feeling his Halloween remake, and even honestly, the Halloween 2 sequel was really terrible. I remember my friend John ended up letting me borrow that movie. He let me borrow the burnt like DVD that he got, and I remember watching it. I was embarrassed for that movie. I thought that movie was really embarrassing for Rob, man. The whole stuff with the white horse and Michael Myers looking like a hobo. It really, really just turned me off, man. And I thought, get back to more original ideas, man. Do more original stuff, Rob. I mean, get out of the remake stuff. And then he did, some other stuff. He did Lords of Salem, and Lords of Salem, man. I don't mean to be rude or mean, but when John and Bob and I went to that movie, and we went to the screening of it, we were not only were we bored by the movie, but there's a whole sequence where there's this sort of demon, and he looks like a chicken wing style demon, and he's holding some sort of dildos or something like that, some weird stuff, guys, and the whole theater like burst out laughing. I started laughing. We all did, and it just was such a laughable movie, man. And I know he was trying to maybe do something like Rosemary's Baby or something like that, but he really didn't pull it off. It felt really half-assed and not good. And then 31 came along, and I thought 31 was really weak as well. It's a better movie than Lords of Salem, but I couldn't get into any of the characters. I thought they were really despicable and mean-spirited, but not fun like the way some of these characters are. I just didn't care for the movie at all. So when he came back to this universe, I thought it was actually really cool that he did it. And I'm kind of glad that he did, because I think actually it's back to form for Rob Zombie. It's back to form for him, back to doing what he does best. And I think for me it's House of a Thousand Corpses, it's The Devil's Rejects, and it's Street from Hell. These movies that I really love of his, and I think are really great. But that's just me, guys. I mean, I think I'd love to see what Rob Zombie does next, but I think those are the three movies that I really love, are these characters and this world, and I love delving into this world, guys. I think Rob Zombie can be a great director. I'm just kind of hoping that he does some stuff that I think interests him. Stuff like the Halloween remake and stuff like that are things that I feel like he just feels like he has to do. I want him to be more creative. Even if I don't like the movies, it's still really interesting to see him do stuff that he wants to do, and hopefully he continues to be a creative force. I'm hoping. I mean, I do like the guy, and he has a lot of potential. But definitely let me know what you think of Rob Zombie, guys. In the meantime, not bad selection so far. Let's see what else they got. And we're over in this section, guys, and the first thing I'm seeing over here is they have the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital of Teen Titans Go vs. Teen Titans for $19.99, the DVD for $14.99 right here. And I have to be honest and say that I really like the fact that there's these sort of kids versions of these superheroes out there for sort of younger kids to get into the genre. I mean, it's not really much for me anymore, but I remember when I was growing up, and the reason why I got into Superman was because I was watching sort of Superboy and some of the sort of more the kid-friendly comic books, and I was getting into some of that stuff. So for me, it's actually kind of fun to see kids getting into that through sort of younger versions of these superheroes, because I mean, you're not going to start them with the Killing Joke or some shit like that, and if you do, that's really twisted, man. But I like that you can get kids slowly into these superhero stuff. And even though I don't really know much about Teen Titans Go or anything like that, I do appreciate the effort of sort of introducing kids to this world in not like a crazy violent way, but more in sort of exploring these superheroes for tales for kids. I think it's really fun, man. And like I said, I'm sort of grown out of that stuff, at least for me. But like I said, I remember me growing up doing more sort of kid-friendly material and then working my way up. So this is a nice sort of introductory for kids, I think, getting into the genre. But that's just my sort of thinking behind it. I mean, definitely let me know what you guys think of Teen Titans Go, and what you think about sort of the whole idea of these sort of more kid-friendly sort of superhero, like teen type of stuff that gets people slowly into the genre. Do you think it's good, or do you think you should just start them out with the dark shit and just hopefully they don't get messed up for life? Whew. Hopefully you're gonna go the kid-friendly route, but definitely let me know, guys. And then over here, guys, I'm seeing they have the extended director's cut of The Haunting of Hill House for $22.99. And what's really interesting about this sort of show is it really harkens back to a lot of really great old school haunted house films of the past, whether we're talking about The Uninvited from 1944, House on Haunted Hill from 1959, The Legend of Hell House from 1973, which is a great one with Roddy McDowell, which I'd easily recommend. I'd also say another one that comes to mind is The Haunting. Now, not the 1999 movie with Liam Neeson and Catherine Zeta-Jones, which honestly, yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that one, guys. I actually saw that one in the movie theater, and I really didn't like that. Way too CGI heavy. It really just was not very scary at all. Really kind of weak of a horror movie, unfortunately. I'm actually talking about the actual Haunting from 1963, which is a really great movie. And a lot of those movies that I talk about for haunted house movies, they're movies that honestly, the less you see, the better is the thing about it. It's more in your mind and your imagination of what you see than anything else. And I think that's what makes it effective and very scary. Now here you do see a lot of stuff, but I think there's a lot of stuff like psychological and stuff that really gets to your mind and really sort of just messes you up and really twists and turns you. And I really like that, man. Like I said, I love more of old school haunted house films. There is some newer ones that I've liked in the past, but it's a lot of them I don't think really take advantage of sort of less is more approach, I would say. There are stuff that really is good. I kind of like The Innkeepers, which is not a bad one as well. And there's a few other ones that are sort of interesting, but for me, I really appreciate more of just what goes on in your mind and how you can make stuff up in your mind that is more terrifying than what's on the screen. I think this is still really effective and really well done. And like I said, I think it ranks right up there with a lot of the old school stuff from the past. But definitely let me know what you guys think. What are some of your favorite haunted house movies? And do you prefer the less is more approach, or do you prefer like just throwing everything in the kitchen sink in? Definitely let me know, guys, for sure on that one. Also over here, I'm seeing that they have Stranger Things Season 1 and Stranger Things Season 2, both for $5 here. And it kind of gets to me a little bit because I paid a hell of a lot more for it when it came out. But, it goes down in price, and I get it, over time, man. But it's a really, really great show, man. Honestly, it's really, really great. And with the great sort of VHS packaging that they do, I mean, for $5, can you really beat that? I don't think you can, guys. I mean, that's just me. If I hadn't picked it up yet and I saw these for $5, that would be an instant buy. I mean, I'm really looking forward to when season 3 comes out, and I really hope that Target has some really great like VHS style packaging again, like they do for these two releases. But oh man, for $5, you honestly cannot beat it, guys. And just so you know, Bob and I ended up doing a review for Stranger Things Season 3, so it's out there. So if you guys are interested in our thoughts of what we thought of the third one, then definitely click on that and definitely let us know your thoughts on the third season of the show. But I cannot wait till that comes out. I'm going to probably pay way more money than $5, but the show is worth it. But if you guys haven't picked it up yet, $5 is a steal for sure, guys. Other than that does it for Target. Actually, not bad, guys. All right, let's head out. Actually, it's really not that bad here at Target this week. I was expecting for them not to have a lot of stuff to show off, but way more than I thought we were going to get, guys. I mean, we have all of the new releases. We have that one title that we didn't see over at Walmart. I mean, mind you, we didn't get any exclusives this week, but this is not really the week for exclusives, I would honestly say. So I'm not really surprised by that. But there was still a decent selection and variety. And just so you guys know, it's going to be happening next week, and I'll definitely show it off to you next week. But all of this section of the Blu-rays and DVDs, and all of this section of the Blu-rays and DVDs, they are going to be shrinking the physical media down. I talked to the electronics manager, and he gave me the heads up on it, that they are getting rid of another section of the Blu-rays and DVDs. So we're only going to get the kids' stuff over here, and then all of the regular stuff is going to be right over here, is what he told me, guys. And the reason why he said it is because basically they're putting more books in, and that the books sell more than the actual movies do, and that physical media and movies are becoming a thing of the past, and that basically they're keeping the whole thing with the vinyls and everything, because vinyls are coming back in a big bad way. So physical media will be shrinking over here at my Target, guys, and pretty much mostly at every Target, to be honest with you. But I wanted to give you guys the heads up. I'll definitely show you how it looks next week for sure, but this is another time when physical media is going to be shrinking yet again, guys. But, you know, it's kind of a shame, but this is where we're headed, unfortunately. And with Target, Target doesn't really invest in much physical media anyways, so shrinking it down for them, it just makes sense. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up of that stuff. But yeah, yet another physical media section basically getting torn down even more. It happens, guys, but wanted to give you the heads up, and I will definitely show it off next week. But actually this week, though, overall actually was a decent amount of selection and variety, so thumbs up for Target, at least this week. Alright, guys, let's head to the third and final location, and let's see what they got. Alright, everybody, we are at our third and final location, the Beast Best Buy. But before we go in, I want to talk about a couple trailers with you guys. The first being Jungle Cruise. Now, truth be told, I've never actually went on the ride for Disney's Jungle Cruise, so I don't really know anything about it exactly. All I know is that The Rock is really popular right now, and people are trying to get him into every single kind of property that they have, and he is one hell of a busy man. And, Dwayne Johnson has done family-friendly stuff before in the past. I mean, he did Tooth Fairy, he did Game Plan, he's done some stuff that is kid-friendly. So him going back to kid-friendly stuff or adventure stuff is not exactly new to him. He's done it before. Now, that being said, I was interested to see this movie because I heard a lot about it. And I heard a lot about, how this is a very big, sprawling movie and how it cost a lot of money and it's just going to be this huge adventure movie. And so when the trailer came out, I was definitely interested. And I do really like the trailer. I think the trailer is really well done. You get that fun, adventurous aspect to it. But not only that, guys, but I like Emily Blunt here. She's playing sort of this scientific sort of persona who's trying to find this artifact. And The Rock is playing more of this sort of down-on-his-luck drifter. And, they sort of team up. And there's this sort of love-hate relationship sort of back and forth that they have. And it looks interesting. It looks fun. It looks like it's going to be this great ride and adventure. But there's something off about the movie, and I think for me, the one thing that's off about it is The Rock. The Rock, I almost feel like The Rock's a little bit miscast in this. Like, I look at The Rock and I'm like, I was expecting the character to be a different sort of type. I wasn't expecting The Rock. I think when you cast The Rock, you're casting somebody who is, big, bulky guy, and I almost think you need to cast against type. You need to cast something that is a little more normal, so that you kind of get that whole thing of how it's unexpected when they become sort of the hero, and you and that you get sort of some sort of more comedy with it. I understand what they're going for, and I understand why they're doing it, and I don't fault The Rock for taking this, because if they want him and they're willing to pay him the money, then why the hell not do it? But for me, I feel like for some reason a different actor could have been cast in there and I would have been fine with it. The Rock being in it will get his fan base, but at the same time, I don't know if the chemistry between him and Emily Blunt's going to work exactly. I mean, maybe I could be wrong. I mean, the movie looks like The Mummy. It looks like Pirates of the Caribbean. It looks like this fun adventure family film. I mean, is it going to pay off? I mean, we'll find out next year, but in the meantime, let me know what you think of Jungle Cruise. And then the other movie I saw the trailer to is Doolittle. And, it's really interesting because looking at this movie, specifically this film, with Downey, I think everyone has been really interested in what is Downey going to do after Iron Man, right? Because he's been Iron Man for so long and he hasn't really done many movies outside of being Iron Man. So what was he going to tackle? What was the next big comeback after Iron Man? And we now have it. This movie, from all accounts, from everything I'm hearing, was an absolute disaster. Filming it was a disaster. Reshooting it was a disaster. Issues with the director, the CGI, everything. Read up on it. I've heard it. It's really interesting. And so I look at the trailer and I liked the trailer. I thought the trailer was good. There's not much to the trailer because it's pretty much a teaser. But I like the look of Downey. I like sort of, this sort of going back to old school sort of Dr. Dolittle type of stuff like the Rex Harrison movie from all those years back. But there's a lot wrong with this, man. I mean, the CGI here looks really not good, man. I mean, there's been some great CGI in the past. I mean, the Planet of the Apes movies, Lion King. There's been a lot of really great stuff. There's been a lot of advancement in CGI. This does not look good. And I'm hoping that the CGI is early, that, there's a lot of... It's still early in the process and they can still do a lot of really great stuff. But right now, it does not look good to me. It looks really sort of fake and processed and not good at all. Not only that, but, to me, it sort of feels very bland and lifeless, man. I mean, there's nothing here that would, if a kid is watching this, and it's interesting for a kid, is a kid going to really be interested in sort of a period piece sort of drama about a guy that can talk to animals, but it's not exactly completely geared towards kids, but it kind of is. And how is the comedy gonna be? Is it gonna be wacky comedy back in the old school days, or are they gonna try to modernize it a bit? How is Downey gonna play this? He's playing this with this kind of accent, and what tone are we going for with this movie? I don't understand. I mean, we have the Rex Harrison movie, which is a really good movie. We have the Eddie Murphy movie, which is more of a comedy, but I thought that movie worked. I just don't know what they're going for with this movie. And on top of that, it felt like, from all I'm hearing, that when they were making the movie, they didn't know what they wanted to make either. And they were very much confused about what they wanted to do with this film. Look, I'm interested in the movie. I love Downey and I want to support Downey, but at the same time, I want Downey to do these more dramatic movies. I want Downey to do more sort of Oscar bait stuff. I want him to get that Oscar. I don't feel like him doing this movie is exactly helping him. I think this could be a big flop. I mean, it's coming out in January, and January has gotten better for movies, but there's a certain part of me that says that this could really be bad, man. I mean, when you're touting in the trailer, it's from the producers of Alice in Wonderland, you don't got a hope in hell, man. You really don't, because that movie's terrible. I mean, I could be wrong, but something tells me that this movie has stink written all over it, and it's a real shame because I love Downey so goddamn much, and I don't want him to fail. But something tells me this thing was doomed from the get-go. I mean, definitely let me know what you think of the trailer for both of the movies. And in the meantime, let's head into the Beast and see what they have in store for us this week. All right, everybody, we are in at Best Buy here, and the first thing I'm seeing is they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital only at Best Buy exclusive Steelbook for Spider-Man Far From Home for $34.99. Well, we didn't see this on release week because it was a very popular Steelbook, but now we're seeing it, and well, there's only one copy, so I have a feeling this thing is going to go pretty damn fast. Huh. Nice Steelbook. You know, when I ended up actually like looking at the Steelbook online and just looking at a still picture of it, it didn't look impressive to me. It didn't look good. It looked very splotchy and all over the place, and it kind of a messy cover. But now seeing it in person, actually it doesn't look half bad, really. I actually kind of like it. It's not bad at all, man. I mean, interesting. I kind of like the vibrant color to it and the characters' faces, and it doesn't look really half bad. I'm actually pretty impressed by it, just being in person here. And on top of it, it's a good movie, so that definitely helps as well, guys. But yeah, this is one of those really popular Steelbooks that I have a feeling is going to go very, very fast. I mean, it already has. And I have a feeling like either somebody brought back a copy or they got a limited run back in. But I have a feeling that we're probably not going to be seeing this much longer. This might be the last of it, and that is it, guys. Actually, not too bad art, man. Really not too bad at all. Definitely let me know what you think of this Steelbook and where does it rank among sort of the Best Buy Steelbook arts. There's some that I've seen that haven't been the greatest, but this one actually kind of surprises me in person. Not bad. Then over here I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray digital of Stuber for $19.99, the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital for $24.99, and you know what, this movie actually reminds me of a few sort of in the genre of like buddy cop or, you know, a cop teaming up with sort of a civilian type of movie. Like, I'm remembering like that movie I Spy with Eddie Murphy and Owen Wilson. I'm remembering that. I'm remembering Showtime. If you guys remember that one with Eddie Murphy and Robert De Niro. Blue Streak with Martin Lawrence, which is actually a really great movie. I really like Blue Streak a lot. It kind of is one of the better Martin Lawrence movies. But the one I was really thinking about was Armed and Dangerous. Oh man, Armed and Dangerous is so awesome, man. It's basically like John Candy plays this sort of disgraced cop that has to get this job at this guard dog security company, and Eugene Levy plays this lawyer who's really terrible at his job, and he tries to get a job at the guard dog security as well, and they sort of team up together and hilarity ensues, and I love the chemistry, and it's so awesome. It's one of my favorite John Candy comedies, to be honest with you. I don't know if this will ever match to any of those type of movies. I mean, it's good, maybe better than average, but to be honest with you, I think it falls a little flat at times, and I don't think the comedy or the action is quite as good as some of those other movies. You know, it's good for a rainy day type of watch, but honestly, it's one of those, you don't need to watch it to absolutely, like, enjoy it, guys. But to be perfectly honest, though, this movie didn't get a lot of love at the box office, and to be fair, I think the thing about it was that when Disney bought 20th Century Fox, a lot of these movies that 20th Century Fox did ahead of time, they really didn't want to put a lot of money or effort into these movies. They didn't want to put sort of the effort into these releases and not a lot of promotion, and they really didn't want to be associated with these type of properties. I mean, they still put it out, but there wasn't a lot of love to it, and the movie didn't make a lot of money at the box office, so I'm actually really surprised we're even getting a 4K release of this, to be honest with you, because I thought they would just dump this out and be it. But honestly, I guess not. I mean, you know, I think they're just dumping this out to kind of, hey, I hope it makes a little bit of money, and then that's it. But outside of that, you know, like I said, if you like Dave Bautista, then maybe this is something worth getting. But I would probably say it's a skip it, or at least one where you don't have to at least watch it to, get enjoyment. There's better ones out there. Like I said, the Armed and Dangerous one was really great. That's worth checking out. This, average at best, I'd say, guys. But you have deleted scenes, gag reels, joke-o-rama, audio commentary, and more. Actually, not bad releases for a movie that didn't really do that well at the box office. Not bad at all. Like I said, if you're a fan of Dave Bautista, check it out. Outside of that, it could easily be a skip, though. Then over here, I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital of Crawl for $22.99 right here, guys. Now, I was thinking about some of the movies in the killer sort of alligator genre, I would say. And there's some really cool ones, man. I was thinking of like Primeval is one of them. I was thinking of, what was that one? Alligator with Robert Englund. I was thinking of some really, really great ones out there, man. There's that killer crocodile movie that's coming out from Severin, which is really good. Lake Placid as well. In fact, Lake Placid is probably my favorite of all the killer crocodile movies. I love the comedy. I love Betty White in it, and I just think it's a really fun movie. And this movie, I think it's a nice addition to the killer crocodile, killer alligator type of genre. It has its fun moments. I think the crocodiles are really great and really vicious here. The blood and gore is cool. It's not the best movie in the genre, honestly, but you want to know what? I don't think it had to be. I think it was serviceable, and I was happy with it. I thought there was some good tension here. It's a good addition, I think, to that genre. It's sort of nature gone wrong and attacking people kind of genre. I think it's up there, man. I mean, definitely let me know what you think. Does this fit into the killer alligator genre, and what some of your favorites are for sure. Definitely interested to find out your thoughts, guys. This comes with a all-new motion comic of alternate openings, deleted and extended scenes, 45 minutes of bonus content. Not bad at all, guys. I think it's definitely worth your time. I honestly do. Then over here I'm seeing they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital of Guillermo del Toro's Hellboy for $19.99, and the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray and digital Steelbook only at Best Buy for $24.99 right here. And I know this week this got the 4K upgrade. Pretty much the Steelbook here is just the same as the regular, no real difference here. But I kind of realized that this ended up getting the 4K upgrade, and honestly, this is a movie that I think really deserves to be reevaluated. I honestly do, guys. This is a fantastic comic book movie. I love Guillermo del Toro, the way he films a movie. I love his world of monsters, and I think the Hellboy universe is perfect for that. I've loved this movie ever since I first saw it in the theaters long back, man. I love Ron Perlman as Hellboy. He kills it here. Selma Blair is awesome. The character of Abe Sapien, Doug Jones, rocks it in here. I love the story. I love the effects, the monsters and the creatures, and God, this is such an awesome film, man. It really does. I know it's one that not a lot of people talk about within the sort of superhero comic book genre, but it really deserves to be reevaluated. It honestly does, man. I think it's really underrated for sure. I honestly really do, guys. And what really burns me is that as much as I love Hellboy 1 and 2, I just know we're never going to get that third film, which really sucks, because I wanted an end to the trilogy. I wanted an end to the whole series of films, and we're just not going to get it. We got that crappy remake, and now this is lost forever. And I mean, we'll always have the two films, Hellboy and Hellboy the Golden Army, but God, I wanted that third film, man. I really did. But it's really great that this got the 4K upgrade. It's probably going to look really awesome in 4K, and to be honest with you, it's a movie that definitely needs to be reevaluated and for people to reinvest their time into this, because it's way better than I think a lot of people gave it credit for. Honestly, I really do. Definitely let me know what you guys think of Hellboy. And it has pretty much most of the same features from the Blu-ray, but it has an all-new introduction by Guillermo del Toro, and To Hell and Back, a retrospective featurette. Oh, it's not bad. and it's both the director's cut and the theatrical version. I actually prefer the director's cut. I like the director's cut quite a bit. I think it's better than the theatrical version, but that's just my opinion, though. Definitely let me know which version you guys prefer. Then over here, another one that got the 4K upgrade is Scarface. Yeah, the gold edition for $17.99. Nice, Scarface. Gotta love that movie, man. This is one movie that I think still gets loved to this day, man. It's one that gets heavy rotation by a whole bunch of people, man. I think this movie just never goes out of style. I really don't, dude. This is an awesome movie. Al Pacino kills it in this. Michelle Pfeiffer is great in there. Robert Loggia. Such a great cast in this movie, man. I just love this movie, dude. Say hello to my little friend. Oh, God, that's great. Pacino is on fire in this role, man. Just this guy who's up and coming and rises to power, and everything that he sacrifices and loses, and oh, man. This movie is so fucking awesome, dude. I love this movie so much, dude. I can't highly recommend this one enough, dude. Pacino alone in this thing, he's on fire, man. He's awesome in this role. Oh, dude. I haven't watched it in a long time, to be honest with you, but the last time I did, which is maybe a couple years ago, I really just still love this movie. He's snorting so much cocaine that I'm surprised he's still alive at the end of the movie. He's like, my God, man. Whacked out of his mind, but so awesome of a movie, man. Definitely worth revisiting. I don't know how it's going to look in 4K, though, but because it's an older movie, so I'm not sure how older movies like this are going to transfer to 4K, but if you haven't got it yet, I mean, for $17.99 for the 4K, that's actually a really good price, guys. You get here the Scarface phenomenon, the world of Tony Montana, the birth, the acting, the creating, deleted scenes, Scarface, the TV version. It's interesting. I don't know how good the TV version would ever be. And more. And a Scarface anniversary reunion. Well, that's interesting. Actually, not bad special features, man. Definitely worth it, especially if you don't have it, man. Well worth it. And for you fans of Al Pacino, it's got to be in the collection. Then the other thing I'm seeing over here is they have the Blu-ray digital of Night Hunter for $14.99. Not much more to say about this one, but it does look like a cool little sort of thriller. You know, the synopsis actually makes me sort of think of like a movie like Seven or something. Some sort of thriller where they're hunting the killer down and they're just always one step behind him or something. It looks kind of interesting to me. And again, with such a cast like this, it's worth definitely at least checking out because, you know, Ben Kingsley, who I love Ben Kingsley, and unfortunately Ben Kingsley's doing a lot more of this sort of straight to Blu-ray and digital work, which is really sucks because he's such a great actor. But if he can bring his great acting skills straight to Blu-ray and DVD movies, then why the hell not? You know what I mean? It looks cool to me, honestly. And there's not many of these sort of straight to DVD thrillers that I'm actually interested in. So this one actually looks pretty good to me, honestly, guys. Unfortunately, there is no feature, which really sucks, but sometimes with these releases, they really don't put the effort in onto the actual like extras, which is a shame because I think more people would be interested in movies like this if there was extra stuff added onto it, like commentary, deleted scenes, that type of stuff. But, you know, sometimes these companies just don't put in the effort, man. Sometimes they don't. And unfortunately, I'm seeing that they're all out of 3 from Hell, guys. It's $16.99 for the Blu-ray, but they're all out of it. I'm actually finding that every place I'm going, that there's not many copies of 3 from Hell out there. I was talking to the third-party vendor over at Walmart, and he didn't have a lot of copies out there, and they were going fast. They were actually going faster than he even anticipated. He was like, oh my God, I didn't believe this was going to be popular. And then I was at Target, and like, a guy took like 3 or 4 copies of 3 from Hell. It was kind of crazy how many copies he actually took. And that was going fast. And now this too. I have a feeling that they're not stocking a lot of copies for the movie, and they're really being overwhelmed by how much people are actually interested in picking this up. I was telling the third-party vendor at Walmart, I said, this is going to be a popular release, man. But he didn't believe me. I don't think a lot of people did. Because this is the first time a lot of people are watching the movie, and they didn't see the Fathom event screening, so they definitely want to check it out. So it's going faster than people think, but unfortunately, they don't got any, which is a real shame, guys. But we'll keep on looking and see if there's anything else to check out, guys. All right, let's see what else they got. Alright everybody, we are over in this section of Best Buy, and the first thing I'm seeing over here is they have the Blu-ray digital of The Art of Self-Defense for $22.99. And let's talk about Jesse Eisenberg for a second, shall we? Now, he's a pretty quirky guy, man. I mean, he seems it, at least from the stuff I've seen of his. And sometimes it works, and other times it doesn't. I mean, I look at a movie like Adventureland, and that works really well. The Zombieland stuff, he's really good in. You know, The Social Network is something else that's, I think, really works towards his strength. I think Now You See Me, I think that's another thing that really works to his strength as well. And then there's other movies where it doesn't. Things like 30 Minutes or Less, or American Ultra, and there's certain movies where I'm like, his quirkiness kind of derails the movie a little bit. I guess it depends on the role that he goes for. And another one that I think he was really terrible in, as you guys all know, I thought he was really terrible in Man of Steel. I thought he was god-awful there, man. His version of Lex Luthor is really bad, man. It's cringeworthy. And so, I like Jesse Eisenberg, but I get hesitant sometimes because sometimes maybe his quirky style doesn't always go with the movie they're trying to achieve. Thankfully, with the Art of Self-Defense, it actually does pretty well. It goes towards the movie that they're trying to make. Sometimes it feels like maybe the acting is a little offbeat, maybe to the detriment of the movie, but that's not just him. I think it's everybody. It's a really sort of quirky movie overall. It's a very sort of dark style comedy that has its quirky moments. It's really good, but it almost feels like the dark comedy version of Fight Club is what I would say, man. Honestly, I really would. It's offbeat, it's off kilter. Sometimes you're sort of scratching your head because it doesn't really make sometimes a lot of sense. But you go along with it because it's so dark and weird, and you just really want to know where the hell it's going. And it goes to some really sort of bizarre and sort of really sort of intense places at times, which I was not expecting. I mean, again, it's a good movie, and I think Jesse Eisenberg is good in it, and his quirky style fits this movie, but not always does it actually fit. I mean, definitely let me know what you think of Jesse Eisenberg, guys. And an important message from Sensei and cast and crew interviews. Not a lot here, but it's a movie I think definitely at least worth checking out at least once to sort of say that you saw it. Everybody does a really good job here as well. So it's a good movie with good performances. Just it can get pretty dark at times, man. And trust me, it's something that I was not expecting. But I'm letting you guys know ahead of time so that you're not shocked like I was. Then they have Ultraman and Ultra Q, both for $24.99. Now, mind you, I have never seen any of these things before, and they're actually steelbooks right here, guys. They're actually steelbooks, which is really cool, man. You got these steelbook copies, and I have actually never heard of this before. Truth be told, never heard of it at all, man. I don't know what any of this is about, man. In the iconic movie monsters, Godzilla, Rodan, and one of the most expensive TV. Really? This was in Japan. Dude. It looks really interesting, like old school monsters and stuff that sort of reminds you of Godzilla or stuff back in the day. Really weird stuff, man. That looks really interesting. I've never heard of any of this stuff before, man. Especially something like Ultraman. I have not heard about any of that stuff at all, man. From the land of light, for justice's sake, he has come. It's Ultraman. The giant legend from the. No, this is interesting. Stuff from Japan and whatnot. I gotta tell you, man, Japan makes some really interesting and quirky stuff, dude, especially back in the day. Like stuff like Godzilla or this stuff, which I've never heard of before. I gotta look into this, man. It actually looks really cool, to be honest with you. I've never heard of Ultraman, but it kind of intrigues me to at least kind of look into it, do some research on it. If you guys know anything about Ultraman or Ultra Q, which looks really sort of very fascinating, also sort of Japanese style stuff, let me know. The classic series. Yeah, I do not know anything about this, but trust me, guys, this is something I'm really, like, intrigued by just looking at the covers of this stuff. Definitely let me know what you guys think of Ultraman and Ultra Q. Is it worth checking out? Do you know anything about it? Definitely let me know. This is something I'm completely new on. Trust me, I don't know nothing about it. But for $24.99, that's not a bad price, especially for these really nice steel books. That's really cool, man. It's not bad at all. Then over here I'm seeing they have The Haunting of Hill House, the Blu-ray of the extended director's cut for $29.99. And it's interesting because I know they're doing another season of the show, but they're not doing another season of Hill House. They're doing a completely new sort of one of the actual show. So it's a different haunting of a different house, and I like that they're not doing the same thing over and over again. It's more of like an anthology show where it's kind of like you go to a different house, you explore stuff with a different family. I think it actually will be kind of cool, actually. I'm actually looking forward to it. And the creator and sort of the director, showrunner of the show is Mike Flanagan. Now, Mike Flanagan has done some really fantastic work, man. He is one hell of a great horror director. He has a ton of really great horror influences, and you can really see it in a show like this. And he's actually doing that new movie, Dr. Sleep, which I'm actually really looking forward to, because if he can pull off sort of a sort of haunted house movie like this, then I think he could really do great things with the Shining sort of sequel. Because truth be told, doing a sequel to The Shining is very daunting, but when you have somebody like Mike Flanagan who's really great at horror and really understands what makes horror great, then I think it's in really great hands. I mean, that's just my opinion, guys. Definitely let me know what you think of Mike Flanagan, what you think of doing an anthology-style show that is not really going to be the same thing over and over again. They're going to explore different aspects in a different house, and I think actually it doesn't ever get stale, which is what I like. But definitely let me know, guys. And you have here an extended director's cut with commentary by creator and director Mike Flanagan for some of the episodes, and additional commentary as well. Not bad. I mean, there's not any making of or anything, but actually, you know, having a great commentary, I love commentary. So anytime there's a commentary, I'm always a happy man. So, and Mike Flanagan is a really great person on commentaries. He really does love to delve into a lot of really great aspects of his movies and shows. So, yeah, this alone, it's worth it, because if you love haunted house stuff, this show is great. If you don't want to buy it, definitely watch it on Netflix and give it a chance at least, because it is really, really well done, really creepy, and I thought it was really phenomenal, man. I was blown away by it, honestly was. Then they have over here, they have the Blu-ray of the complete collection for Twin Peaks, or the television collection, I should say, for $59.99. Look at this sucker. Yeah, look at that. That's nice. Nice, man. I know this came out this week as well, and there's been so many different sort of releases of Twin Peaks, man. I actually have the DVD edition where it's like that gold edition where like it has like the first couple of seasons. I know they came out with another complete show series that also had the movie attached to it as well. Every so often they come out with like more Twin Peaks television sets, which is very interesting. And I gotta admit, guys, I love this show, man. I think this show is absolutely brilliant. It's weird, it's bizarre, it's all over the place. It doesn't make a lick of sense, but you want to know what? It's so fascinating and so mind-blowing, and really just takes you on a journey, man. It really does. All the characters are really unique and bizarre and a little twisted and weird, but they're really fun to hang out with. I love the mystery aspects of the show. It's really sort of things like the Black Lodge and everything. They're just so mysterious and creepy, and I really love that so much, man. I loved the revival. I also really love the actual movie. I think the movie is really fascinating as well. I actually own the movie from Criterion, so I have that. It's such a really bizarre movie, but I love that so much. I love David Lynch's weird style, and I heard that they're actually possibly maybe doing a another season of the show, which I would be so happy about because I really love it. And more Twin Peaks in my life, of course I'm going to take it. David Lynch is a genius, man. This show is fantastic. If you guys have any of the other releases or any great thoughts about Twin Peaks, definitely let me know. Dale Cooper is a fucking rock star. Love the dude, man. Great. And Kyle MacLachlan is awesome in this show. Oh, I love this so much. Twin Peaks is fantastic. Then over here I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray of Genius Party for $21.99. That's interesting. Blu-ray. 12 impacts by 12 directors. Oh, it's an anime. Okay. From groundbreaking animation. Interesting. Like I said, I'm not really much of the animated guy, at least, anime in this type of sense, but, I always try to show off anime, at least for you guys, because I know a lot of you guys are into it, so I don't want to, not show off these type of releases, even though I'm not really into it. Genius Party Beyond. No, I've never actually heard of this stuff before. It says it's mind-blowing and a must-see. There's certain anime stuff that I really like, and there's others that I'm not too much of a fan of. Let me know what you guys think of this. Looks kind of intriguing, though. They have that, and then the final thing they have over here is they have this huge Scarface limited edition box set here for $59.99. Oh, look at this sucker. Wow. Look at this thing, man. This thing is huge. Look at that. Whoa. Wow, man. Look at that sucker. It's limited edition. What do we get here? You get the 1983 movie on 4K, on Blu-ray, digital. You also get the Scarface 1932 movie on Blu-ray as well. That's really cool. The World Is Yours collectible statue. Look at that statue, man. That's great, man. This is for the ultimate Scarface fan. Look at that. That's really cool. Dude, just imagine putting that on your mantle or on top of one of your shelves for your Blu-ray collection. That's really awesome, man. Wow, dude, that is really cool. I'm not the hugest Scarface fan, so it's definitely not something for me, but I know a lot of people who would probably dig this, man, really would. And there's a ton of stuff that you get, so actually for $59.99, that's actually not a bad price, to be honest with you. And I know sometimes for certain movies they do these sort of collectible releases, they have this sort of collectible stuff, they had an Alien release that had the alien egg attached to it, and they've done stuff for Terminator with the endoskeleton stuff. So now they have this for the Scarface set. That's really cool, man. Man, if you're a fan of Scarface, definitely get in on that. That's really cool, man. Nice. And again, for $59.99, that's a really great price, honestly. Not bad here, guys. Actually, a lot of great releases this week. A few that I wasn't even expecting. All right. Let's head out. Well, looks like we're not quite done, guys, because they have one more copy of 3 from Hell here. They must have just put it up. Somebody must have brought it back or something. So they got the Blu-ray, DVD, and digital here for $16.99. Oh man, it's good to at least show at least one copy here, but yeah, they're going fast, trust me, guys. And I was kind of curious about what do you think Rob Zombie should do next? And I'm kind of curious because I don't think Rob wants to stay in horror forever. I mean, he loves horror movies. He's a horror guy, but I don't think he wants to stay in horror forever. He talked about doing this biker movie a long time back, and that never got off the ground. And then he was talking about doing a Groucho Marx movie about sort of the final days of Groucho Marx, and it almost got off the ground several times, but then it didn't, and it was sort of a back and forth thing, and eventually, he just made 3 from Hell. And I think that right now as a director, I think all he can get financing for is horror films. That's not a bad thing, but I think he wants to try to broaden his horizons and do other stuff. There's some people like Rob Zombie that unfortunately are just going to be pigeonholed into horror, and that's what they're going to do. And that's, like I said, it's not a bad thing, but that's just what he's going to have to deal with, and that's just it. I mean, Rob Zombie's a interesting director. He does interesting stuff, and I'm kind of curious whether you think there will be a sequel to Three from Hell, because at the end of the movie, no spoilers, but it kind of leaves it open-ended a little bit. It leaves it a little bit open-ended, and it leaves it to where maybe there could be a possibility of another film. It's very interesting because I would be okay with it because I like Bill Moseley, I like Sherry Moon Zombie here. I think Richard Brake really adds to the cast really well here. It kind of feels like it's the ending to me, though. I don't really think we need any more, even though I would definitely go and see it and would love to support these type of movies. I think it's the end. I think they can finish this off now and be done with it. I mean, some people have come out and said that they should have just ended at The Devil's Rejects, and that's it. And maybe they should have, but I like where Three from Hell goes. I like that it continues the story, and I do want to say one thing, that you know, we only get a few minutes of Captain Spaulding, Sid Haig in this movie, because Sid Haig unfortunately was so sick and so in bad health that basically Rob Zombie had to change the entire script. He had Captain Spaulding in there a hell of a lot more than he was, and he just had to rewrite a lot of stuff and bring in a different character, and it's not Rob's fault. It happens. I'm just glad we got to see something from Sid Haig in this movie, and it's a really nice sort of scene with him, and it's just really nice to revisit these characters again. I love this series of films, and I love these movies, and for me, I feel like, you know, this is now considered a trilogy. And is it the best trilogy? No, but I think this is a really nice compliment to House of a Thousand Corpses and The Devil's Rejects, and it will never compare to those two films, but I think like it's a nice sort of compliment. It's a nice sort of add-on to the series, and to get to revisit those characters one more time. I really appreciated it, guys. I really honestly did. But with this one, you get the R-rated version and the unrated version as well. I saw the unrated version in the theater, and it was pretty good. I don't know how the rated one's going to be, but I actually really like the unrated one. And you get To Hell and Back, the making of Three from Hell, a 4-part documentary. Wow. Blu-ray only. And you know what, in some weird way, you don't really get these kind of documentaries anymore, man. These like really long documentaries on the making of the movies, you don't really see those anymore. So it's definitely really cool that he added this. He had a great one for The Devil's Rejects, and I was hoping he'd do something really cool for Three from Hell. I'm really glad he did, man. And you also get an audio commentary as well, and I really like Rob Zombie's audio commentaries. He had a really great one for House of a Thousand Corpses and a great one for The Devil's Rejects, so I always love his thoughts as well. Not bad special features, and for $16.99, that's a really good price, guys. Honestly, I think it's a worthy movie. It's not as good as The Devil's Rejects, but for some reason, I didn't think it was going to be, but I had a great time with the movie regardless. Definitely get up on it if you can find it, guys, for sure, but it's going fast, for sure, guys. Alright, well, that definitely does it now for Best Buy. Alright, let's head out. I'm telling you guys that even on a slow release week, we still get some really interesting stuff to find from time to time, especially here at Best Buy, man. Whether we saw those 4K upgrades, whether, you know, we saw some cool exclusives that I wasn't prepared to actually see this week. Some really interesting stuff here. Like I said, just because there's not a lot to show off, or we think there's not a lot to show off, there's sometimes more than you can possibly imagine, and this week is definitely no exception, guys. Some interesting stuff really all around at all the stores we went to, guys. Not bad at all here. Alright, well, not bad this week for physical media. Hope you guys picked up something good. Let's head home and finish the video. Alright, everybody, that'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD out and about video this week. And you know, it's really interesting sort of contrasting certain things, because, you know, and I'll show it next week, but you have Target shrinking down their physical media. So you have that. That's going on. That's going to happen. I'll show it next week to you guys. But then you have something really interesting, because my friend ended up messaging me. after I had gotten done with all going to all the places, and he ended up saying to me, "Oh my God, you know, I hope you found Three from Hell." And I'm like, "Yeah, I found a few places." And he said, "I've been calling places all day long, and nobody has Street from Hell. It's all sold out. Every place is like, they just don't have it, and or they have one copy, and then I go there, and it's all gone." And I said, "Really?" I said, "Well, I went to Target and they had it, and I went to, Walmart and they had a ton." And so, just for shits and giggles, I decided to go back to Target and go back to Walmart and see whether they still had copies. And guess what, guys? They're all gone. And I'm serious. Like, they are all gone. And I decided to call two other Targets, two other Walmarts, and the other Best Buy, and they are all gone. They're like, right now, trying to find Three from Hell is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It is really tough to find it. So it's really interesting to me because on one hand you have, Target thinking physical media is not really selling, and at the same time you have a release like Three from Hell that's doing really well, that people, it's hard to find that. And so I think in some ways, I think, when people say the market is dying, or that physical media is becoming a thing of the past, they really need to reevaluate that stuff. They really need to, because I think that's what's really interesting. If you overstock a title, like if you overstock some of these big Disney titles, or you overprice stuff, I think that's when they're not going to sell. That's when that stuff's literally going to sit on the shelf. But when you moderately price a movie, put good special features on it, then it's going to sell. That's what it is. I think we're going to see a lot of very interesting things happen with physical media in the next few years, where these companies are going to really have to start thinking in different ways about all of this stuff. They're going to have to start thinking about, how are we pricing this stuff? Are we putting the special features here that people are going to get the bang for their buck? They got to look at the art. They got to look at the packaging. They got to look at everything, because it's now not about just putting the title out there and thinking that people are just going to grab it. You really have to put the effort in here. And when you do, I think people are willing to grab stuff up. When you don't, it's just going to sit. And I think that's the mindset that I think these companies and that these places really have to start employing. And at least that's what I think, guys. Let me know what you think about all that. I think you really need to be more creative with your physical media. I think you really need to really give the consumer a really great bang for their buck, that they want to buy this stuff. That's what I think. I think that's why I really love a lot of these independent companies like, Kino Lorber, Arrow, Scream Factory, Scorpion Releasing, Criterion. That's why I like a lot of these companies, because they go out of their way to try to make it great for the consumer to want to buy the product. And I think that's where these companies really have to be going. But that's just my thought, my guys. Definitely let me know what you think. And man, there was still a lot of really great releases. But even though it was a slow week, there's still a lot of great stuff to see, man. So definitely hope you picked up something good. Now, what did I get? Well, I got a package in the mail from Warner Archive Collection. Now, I actually ordered directly from Warner Archive, and the reason why I did was that this title that I got, basically, to be honest with you guys, I was supposed to get this from Amazon in August, and I didn't get it. Then, I was supposed to get it in September, and I didn't get it. And then, when I finally got it, it was damaged all to hell, so I had to send it back. So eventually I just said, you know what, screw it. I'm actually going to order through Warner Archive Collection, and hopefully it came in mint condition. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Warner Archive is not going to send out bad product. So I'm really looking forward to it. This is one I desperately wanted in the collection. When this got announced, I was like so wanting this title. And just the complications of getting it has been so rough, man. But let me tell you something, it is well worth it. This is a movie that I remember from my childhood, and it's so great to have it in the collection, man. I'm so happy to have this sucker. Really great that Warner Archive Collection put this out, so I'm definitely happy on this one. And I also picked up a release from Target. Yes, from Target, guys, I picked up a release. I really don't pick up many releases from Target anymore, but this one, they had a decent amount, so I figured, what the hell, I'll pick it up. It's a really solid movie. It's a great horror movie. It's not really for everybody, to be honest with you, and it it's great to see these people again. It's great to see these people in these roles. And as far as I'm concerned, you know, it may not stack up to the other ones, but I still really enjoy it quite a bit. And, I'm happy to have it in the collection, honestly. So I am really happy to have this horror title on top of this as well, guys. So I got 2 titles this week on top of the host of other titles that I have for the month. Oh my god, man, it is absolutely crazy for October. But you guys will definitely not get to find out exactly what I have until my Blu-ray Pickles video, which will drop towards the beginning of next month. It will show off all of the titles that I got for October, and oh my god, man, 4K upgrades, 80s retro titles, new releases, oh my god, collector's editions, so much stuff that I'm getting for October, man. I've always told you guys, October is a really busy month. There's so much stuff to check out, and honestly, this year is no exception, man. There's so much stuff that's coming out, and it's so great, man. I am flooded with titles, but that's a good thing. I'm really happy about that. But you guys will not get disappointed with my pickups. I think you guys are really gonna enjoy it. But you guys have to wait until that video comes out, so definitely stay tuned to that, guys. And, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray and DVD Tuesday videos I do every single week. Check out the theatrical movie reviews I do with my friends. The Blu-ray pickup videos I do every single month. Plus so much more content that's on the channel. If you love physical media and movies, hit subscribe and become a part of the Film Fan Nation. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank my subscribers who really go out of their way to watch the videos, to comment, and to just support the channel, because the support from you guys really makes this channel what it is. I go out of my way to do a lot of these videos and to really put the effort in, but none of it would be worth it if not for you guys actually watching it. So I do appreciate all the love that you give me, and I hope I give the love right back to you guys as well. And just to let you guys know what's coming up on the channel, we will be putting out our Joker spoiler review. We kind of waited a couple weeks because, we talk the spoilers, we really go in depth with the movie, and we wanted you guys to watch it first before we actually ended up putting it out. So we do have a Joker spoiler review coming. On top of that, I know it's late, and I do apologize, but the September Blu-ray pickup video will be put up for sure, guys. Honestly, there was so much stuff to edit and so much videos to put up and put together and film, and that kind of got put on the back burner a little bit, but I definitely am putting it out, so that was not forgotten. I will be putting up the September pickups, so definitely stay tuned for that, and perhaps a special video that I did with my mother, going to a really great comedy museum that was well worth the trip, guys. So there's a lot of stuff coming, plus much more content on the way, so definitely stay tuned. And before I go, I wanted to talk about something. I got this email, and I kind of want to know what your guys' opinions are, so definitely let me know on this one. I'm going to read this off, and let you guys sort of decide from there. Hello, would Film Fan 108 be interested in reviewing the Chinese murder mystery The Fatal Contract, arriving on DVD October 21st? If you're interested in an online screener or a physical copy, please contact them. So I got this was just a random email that I got from this company asking me to review their movie. I didn't contact them. I didn't, go out of my way to want to grab a copy. They literally sent me a message wanting me to review their movie. That has never happened before. This is the first time that this has ever happened. I I don't even know how they got my contact info, to be honest with you. But they want me to review it, and should I do it? Definitely let me know, guys. Actually, look up the trailer. It's called The Fatal Contract. Look it up, and let me know whether you think I should email them back and ask for a review copy. I have been wanting to do review copies for a while. I really would love to do reviews of a lot of copies that companies send out. I'd love to do it, but I've really heard from nobody. Not that many people. And even if I email back, they don't email me back with a response. So I've had kind of a tough time. I still sort of do the knocking on doors and wanting to try to actually get myself out there more, but it does get a little bit difficult at times. So the fact that I actually got somebody who was interested in actually just out of the blue sending me a review copy of this murder mystery is really interesting. I want to know from you guys. What do you think? Definitely let me know. This is really interesting. And, I could just say yes, but I want to involve you guys. I want to involve the Film Fan Nation, whether you think it's worth it for me to do this. Definitely let me know, guys. But that's kind of exciting, and I wanted to share it with you guys. I thought it was kind of cool. Out of the blue. It's the first time somebody's actually went to me and asked me to review their movie. Kind of odd, but kind of cool at the same time. I don't know, guys. Definitely let me know. But, yeah, so let me know, guys, about that. And definitely stay tuned for some really great upcoming videos. And, again, thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it so much, guys. And I will be back next week for a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video. Take care, everybody, and happy hunting.